Good morning. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining me for a Sensate's Pathway interview this morning. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, although a little chilly. And I've been to your house. I've seen some of your artwork. I know how beauty and is really important to you. Thanks for coming on this interview. Please, if you could share how the different senses and connecting with God through different senses, how does that work out for you? What kind of role does it play in your relationship with God?
Good morning, Patty. It's an honor and a pleasure to be part of this process, this interview, and this whole the questionnaires that we filled out in the very beginning of this. Really, I found out through this that I'm a Sensate, as well as a naturalist when it ties together. I grew up in Europe, as most of you know, and went to church, the traditional beautiful churches that exist in Europe. And I think it really planted something in my heart, sitting in the pews, smelling, the scent of the wood and old churches. And, I remember as a kid staring at the stained glass windows and just following the sermons while staring at the beautiful colors and smelling the scents, seeing candles burning. All those things really triggered something in me, or planted something within me, and tied me to God, as well as beautiful hymns, listening to hymns and singing them, and also hearing the organ playing. And as you know, Patty, there are a lot of beautiful organs in churches in Europe.
Yes,
that make an immense sound, and it just really swept me up and brought me closer to God in that sense. And so to me, God in a way is in the church building is somewhat. But when I'm at home, of course, what I do often is I light candles, and often scented candles. I have flowers in my home all the time, because it just, all those things, like bringing nature in, bringing color in, and seeing beauty in everything that is around me. I have a strong sense of, when I go somewhere, or anywhere, I just feel like, okay, what could I do with this? How could I make this more beautiful? I love artwork, like a lot of different types of artwork. Right now I'm working on those Pesenki eggs. And somebody asked me the other day, I was telling, or actually it was my small, and they were saying to me, well, what are you going to do with them? And for me, it's not even what am I going to do with them. It's just, how can I make something beautiful? And I know that God has created a beautiful world, and he wants us to be surrounded by beauty. Otherwise, he would have created the black and white concrete world, right? It's my pathway, definitely. And it ties me to God. It brings me to God. At times when I have had a quiet time, I would put on some music, usually classical music. There's this song by Andrea Bocelli, and it's called Pana Francelica. And he sings about communion bread.
Wow.
And time I listen to this, it just brings me to tears. And
Mm.
it just really moves my heart. And another thing is church bells. Church bells, I miss them very much here in Canada. We don't have any church bells, sadly. But especially at Christmas time, I listen on, on a recording to beautiful church bells while,
Wow.
bake cookies. And it often brings me to tears. Yeah,
Mm.
stirs me very deeply.
Oh, amen. Well, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate. Sometimes we can be very utilitarian, functional, and miss out on all those emotions and all the beauty and like even with the question with the eggs, what are you going to do with them? Sometimes that's how I tend to think that way, of being practical, to the point, getting things done. And I'm so encouraged to have brothers and sisters that do stop to smell the flowers. So thank you for being that. Maybe just one more question. What would you what is one practice that you would recommend for those of us that are maybe not as experienced with this pathway? Maybe where can we start? What can we try?
Yeah, that's a good question. Try to put on some music, especially I find classical music, maybe without a human voice in it. And, maybe part of your quiet time, light a candle, or, even sing yourself.
Yeah.
During quiet time or any other time, of course. Maybe not always just at quiet time, but when you're just cooking, for example, put on some music, or even, have some church bells, or, it really, slow down and stop and see the beauty. And I'm sure as a naturalist, you do that already as you're walking outside, but even inside the home.
No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Those are great suggestions. I think to enrich our quiet times with some music or candles or scented candles. No, thank you so much, Annette, and thanks for sharing your thoughts, and thanks for coming on in this interview. And I hope you have a great day.
Yes, thank you, Patty. It was my
Bye.
pleasure. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.